So I've got Joe Norris from Getyourtipsout, and today's video is about Cheltenham Festival Day One tips. So let's go through all the races for the first day of the Cheltenham Festival, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's quick fire. First race on the Tuesday is the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Who are you thinking is going to win it?
So on the basis that Ballyburn goes for the longer race on the Wednesday, I'm going to go with Mystical Power for Willie Mullins. Now this horse is 3 out of 3, 2 out of 2 over hurdles. I was really impressed last time at Punchestown in a Grade 2, where he went through the race still looking sort of rough around the edges, warm to the task. And then I was so impressed with the final sort of couple of furlongs. He just absolutely sprinted away from them, won by 7 lengths. I think he's going to absolutely relish a strong pace, which you're bound to get in the Supreme. I think as long as his jumping holds up, I think he's going to be steaming up the hill. I know. In the last few days he's been backed in now. He's around sort of 7-2. He's vying for favouritism with Tully Hill. I respect Tully Hill, but I think Tully Hill jumping still, I've got a few question marks over that. So I think I'm going to be against that horse. I mean, from an each way perspective, I think Slade still can run quite a nice race. That's around 8-1. And the other one that I just want to mention quick is Mr. Jiff, which is a Mullins horse. Could still be anything. It's more from a price perspective. It's around 14-1. It reminds me a bit of Diverge, who finished third in this race last year. So I think that could be one to sort of pick up the pieces if you're looking for a big price. But yeah, my main play is Mystical Power.
So basically, you've gone 1, 2, 3, Mullins.
Well,
Just a quick one then on that. Who do you think? So Tullyhull, Townend will probably be riding Tullyhull, won't it? So that might end up putting Tullyhull into favourite because people will automatically think he's the preferred choice. Then hopefully Mystical Power might be more like 9-2 on the day potentially. That's kind of
I think once Ballyburn gets confirmed for the Wednesday, I think Tully Hill will definitely go off favourite. I mean, there could be a lot of confidence behind it. It could end up going off, like you say, 5-2, 11-4. But that wouldn't put me off Mystical Power. I think I've seen what I wanted to see last time, and I just think the way the race is going to set up is going to really suit him. I mean, Tully Hill's probably just going to go off the front and try and make all. We've seen Mullins horses do that over the years, but I still think it's quite hard to make all in the Supreme. And I'll be keen to chance Mystical Power.
Second race, the Arkle Chase on the Tuesday, on the first day of the Cheltenham Festival. Who's your choice there then?
So with this race, Marine National's now out. He was obviously the favourite for the race. He bombed out at Dublin, and obviously something's come out with that. I think he's got a breathing issue or something. So he's out the race. So it's absolutely wide open now. I think there's enough question marks over the ones at the top of the market. So Ilate Tom obviously won at the DRF, beat Founder 50. But Ilate Tom's been to Cheltenham twice, been beat twice. There's something I just don't trust with that horse at Cheltenham. So I sort of want to be against him. Gaelic Warrior, obviously, so much ability. Blew out at DRF. It just jumps out to its right. It's got the ability to go and win this, but I think from what we've seen, you've got to try and take him on. I mean, he's only around 7-2. Founder 50 also sort of goes out to his right a bit, and he's held by Ilate Tom. So I'm going to go against them 3. So I've actually liked 2 in this. The 2 I like, Hunter's Yarn, won really well at Fairy House. I just think he's improving. I think this race is coming at the right time of his career, so I think he can go well. And the other one is Quilixios. Quilixios has won 2 from 3 over fences. Strong stayer at the trip. And it wasn't right when it blew out at Punchestown. Obviously bounced back last time. I feel like there's a lot of confidence growing with this horse. It's around 13-2. I think that could go off 5-1, 9-2. I think that could be like the steamer in the race.
So the next one, the Ultima Handicap Chase on the first day of the Cheltenham Festival. Who you fancy? Obviously, it's a big race. Who you fancying there?
Yeah, so just a note on this. Obviously, these aren't our final tips. They could change, especially with the handicaps. There's a lot to consider. The fields aren't the final decks yet, but I'm just going to give you two that have caught my eye. One is Meeting of the Waters, which is favourite. It's been bought by JP McManus the last couple of days. Really nice horse, improving. Could be off a good mark. I mean, he's bought it for a reason. I think he thinks he's going to win the race. It is entered in a couple of other things as well, so just keep your eye on that. But I think this is the plan. The other one at a big price is Apple Away, 16-1. Again, she needs a few to come out to get in the race, but she's got form behind Grey Dawning and Gallard du Mesnil at Haydock. She beat Making Your Mind Up at Leicester, which is good form. That horse has franked that since. I don't think she gave her run in at Ascot last time, and I think 16-1 is big. And then there's actually another one I highlighted as well, but again I don't know if this will get in. Git Maker for Jamie Snowden. Now this one's around 40-1. Really impressed at Lingfield. I think it had excuses at Ascot last time. That's got entries in the Kim Muir, and it's also entered in the Midlands National at Uttoxeter on Saturday after Cheltenham. So it all depends whether that horse gets in and whether he targets it here. But 40-1, I thought that could hit the frame definitely if it goes for this.
So the next one, the big race, the Champion Hurdle. Obviously on the Tuesday, the first day of the Cheltenham Festival. Who's your tips? Who you think's going to win that?
So no Constitution Hill. State Man's going to go off really short for this. I just think it's one for your multi. Put State Man in your multi. I mean, if I'm looking at the race on its own to have a bet in, I might just chance Iberico Lord without the favourite. Obviously, Irish Point does go for this race now instead of the Stayers, but I don't. Is it quick enough to win? Well, not to win, to come second over 2 miles, maybe. But I do think 16-1 Iberico Lord might be able to pick up the pieces. But behind State Man, I think State Man will win this.
So the next race on the first day of the Cheltenham Festival, the Mares Hurdle. Who's your tips for that race?
Again, I'm really keen on Lossiemouth here. I think she'll win this impressively. I think there's even an argument to be made that she could be shorter than she is. To me, the betting is spot on. All she's got is Astro Diamond to beat. I think they'll be the 1-2. You could even play the straight forecast if you wanted to try and get a bigger price. But again, this will be one to stick in the multiple.
And then the next one, the Boodles Juvenile Handicap Hurdle on the first day of the Cheltenham Festival.
So the Boodles, I've got a few that I'm looking at still. I like this race for trends. I really get stuck into the trends on this race. I mean, a lot of these have got multiple targets. We don't know anything like what the final field's gonna be, so I'm a bit reluctant to put anything up. My gut feeling is that I want to be against the favourite in this, Lark in the Morning. I'm not too keen on that, so I think I'll probably have a couple of each way plays in this at big prices, but at the moment I'm a bit reluctant to put anything up for that at the moment.
The only thing is on that though is the Lark in the Morning you're saying you're looking to take on. He's also got an entry in the Triumph Hurdle.
Yeah.
And if he is, I'm not saying he's got a chance of winning the Triumph. He's not, right? But at official rating of 120, if he was a Triumph Hurdle horse, he'll have 20, 25 pound in hand in the race. So we're obviously thinking there's some ability there, and maybe he has been entered up in 1 or 2 races and been pulled out recently. Maybe they're trying to go, we need to protect this handicap mark that he's got to go to Cheltenham to win at Cheltenham. So I think that favourite could be a good. I know you're not willing to put one up yet at the moment, but I think that Lark in the Morning, if you're doing a non-runner, no bet type bet, I think he could be a good price there at 5-1 myself.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I always get stuck into this race too early. So this year, I'm really adamant that I want to wait with this race. I don't want to get carried away or anything. But yeah, I mean, like you say, if he's entered in the Triumph as well, then the price, once he's declared for this, the price could come in. So if you are a fan of that horse, then yeah, 5-1 could look good.
Yeah. And then the last race on the Tuesday for the first race of the Cheltenham Festival,
Yeah.
what's your tips for the National Hunt Chase?
So this is one of my stronger plays. I mean, as the festival gets closer, I'm getting more and more confident on Corbett's Cross. Now, obviously, Embassy Gardens has had a perfect prep coming into this. Looked really impressive. Strong stayer. But I feel this Corbett's Cross, I think it's still underestimated. Obviously, it needed its reappearance run at Nace, where it was beat, but then it improved and it beat 3-card Bragg at Fairyhouse. I rate that horse quite highly. He then bumped into Grange Clare West at Leopardstown, and that's another really progressive horse. And then he was brought down last time at Fairyhouse. He stays all day, and I know he's been backed into favouritism now. I was hoping Embassy Gardens would go off favourite and we'd get sort of like 11-4. But Corbett's Cross is 15-8 now. But this is definitely going to be one of my better bets on the opening day of the festival.
Sounds good. So I hope you like your video of the Cheltenham Festival Day One tips. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section to see if you got any predictions of a winner for the first day of the Cheltenham Festival 2024.